Hey, welcome to the Tarp Report with Sam and Jess. Episode 4, baby. Let's go.
We've done it. Look at us. We're just flying through.
I know. No moms allowed.
This time.
That's the name of this episode.
Yeah.
Episode 3 was Moms Allowed.
Which is, yeah.
Episode 4.
Mom, yeah. No moms allowed. Except for me.
No, it's called No Thank You, Mommy.
We're not listening. No. Oh, but I do hope people are listening.
Yeah, I think they are.
They will.
Nobody's listening yet because we haven't released the podcast yet.
They literally can't.
But we are, I know we're on episode 4, but we are officially, was it 5 days, 4 days?
Is it 5 or 4? We really got to figure it out. Because I think you said 6 yesterday, but I wasn't sure if that was.
I don't know if you count the day you're on. I
don't know. I think the fun thing is, I think it's entirely up to us.
The fun thing is that I'm an idiot. So
this is not news.
No,
that's not surprising.
Actually, you know what? I want to take that back. It turns out that I'm very smart because talking.
That wasn't a very good example.
But you know what I mean? That I'm really good at communicating, and I do understand a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time with like how many days till this happens.
Yeah, like numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Emotional stuff, you're very good.
Yeah, I am good at that. I do want to say we are sponsored by Old School Pizzeria, Deschutes River Cyclery, and Bar Francis in downtown Olympia. Bar Francis, you can get coffee. Deschutes River Cyclery, you can get bikes. Old School Pizzeria, you can get pizza. But I actually think you should go into those places and switch it around a little bit.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah. Go to Bar Francis and be like, let me get a bike. And then they'll be like, wrong sponsor, dumbass.
Yeah. Go around.
Yeah. Go to the pizzeria. Actually, I think they don't have coffee at the pizzeria.
I think it would be really great to go to just hit all 3 at once.
Mm-hmm. Trey, could I get one of them trick-ass coasters so my drink don't make noises? We have special rubber coasters so you don't hear this the whole podcast. That's me putting down my cup.
That was your mom.
This is good content. Yeah, she couldn't stop.
I'm fidgety too, though. I swivel in my chair a lot.
You do.
And I know. I don't pay
You seem
attention.
like you're in a good place today, though.
I'm on new meds.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. You can tell?
No, I just think you're in a good place.
You mean physically? Like I'm not.
No, not like that. I mean, like you're in a good place. Like you seem like mentally, like you're all the way present.
I'm trying to be. I feel like it's really important for this to like try and just not like think of other stuff, but it's also really hard.
What kind of, you got new meds?
Yeah. So I have been seeing this, I call her my drug doctor for a long time, but she's been having a hard time. And anyway, so now I have a new doctor. And
your drug doctor's having a hard time?
Yeah. Like
what do you mean?
Well, maybe she's having a good time. I don't know. She just switched over to a subscription service, which is a little bit concerning. It is more like a drug deal situation.
A subscription? So you have to subscribe to her?
So like you pay monthly even though you don't see her.
Oh.
Yeah. So I just want to pay for a doctor.
That's like a red flag, isn't
it? Yeah. And so it wasn't always that way.
You see a therapist too, no?
I do. Well, I tell everyone that I do. I'm supposed to.
So you don't.
I have one.
That shit is
okay. So the answer is.
So the answer is no.
The short answer is no.
I asked Jess, "Do you see a therapist?" She goes, "I do." Well, I tell everyone I do. I don't. Well, the answer is no. I already deduced that.
You are smart.
I'll tell you what.
You are smart.
You ain't getting nothing past me when you.
That is no. Okay, I don't. I used to.
Okay.
But she wasn't. She wasn't great. Mm-hmm. So I used to love seeing her. Because it ended up being just like a 45-minute like open mic session because she thought I was hilarious.
Yeah.
And so I would just go and work on material.
But you're doing plenty open mics, so you're like,
so I don't
fuck
need
therapy.
Yeah,
You're
I don't
over
need
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we could make a deal. I don't want to do it yet because I need to get back into therapy.
We should call our therapist.
No, I need to get a therapist because I keep switching insurance.
You want to do couples therapy?
No. That would be funny, though, if we went in and pretended like we were together and be like,
no, we could just say we're doing this podcast.
Like, Jess seems distant and she's skinny and I don't like it.
I feel like she's changed.
Yeah, I feel like she's changed. And
she's not the same person.
Her drug doctor is not giving her the right stuff.
No.
I've nothing even worth stealing. So
No, nothing fun at all.
Yeah.
No, I don't do well with fun drugs, but I don't do drugs. It's fine. Sorry.
I think that as long as you're being honest with this doctor, that was my thing when I got sober, is that I had neck spasms in my neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I clarified
the medical term.
And I couldn't move. I couldn't sleep and I was losing it. And I went to an urgent care and there's a doctor there that I got used to seeing because he was always a doctor at urgent care. He was a Mormon fella. And like, I was like, listen, man, like I've been sober like 6 years. Did you like my impression of myself? It sounds like really Nate doing an impression of me. I've been sober 6 years and like my neck, I can't move. Like I need something to help. And he gave me like the most mild muscle relaxer.
Yeah.
That he had. And it's weird because I took it and I was just so grateful because like once it hit, like I didn't feel high at all.
Right.
But immediately I relaxed because it's like, oh my God, I can finally sleep, right? But this is where it gets weird, right? So I lay my head down on my pillow, right? And I prescribed that I can take 2 at bedtime. It says that I can take 2 at bedtime, but I take 1, right? Because I'm like, I should probably take less, you know?
Yeah.
Because of the recovery stuff. And as I'm laying my head on the pillow, do you remember Sesame Street? And it had like talking numbers and letters. Like all of a sudden, like the number 2 character, it was like had a face and it was like, hey, it's me. 2. Like you thought 1 was good. Like I'm like hallucinating this like number 2. Because that's what's weird about it is it didn't make me high, but it did like trigger that like, addictive. Oh, you need more.
I love it.
You know, and then I'm like sitting there, I'm like, well, the doctor said, and like, yeah, my neck feels better, but it's actually dangerous to not take it.
It's probably going to start to kink up any minute now.
That's where I'm at.
No, I think that I've been trying to be as honest as possible. I've been, like I said, with that doctor almost 4 years, 3.5, 4 years now. Because I'm like, I really want to get it figured out. Like I really need my mental health to be. Without
total details, is this something where it takes a while? Is it like an SSRI that like takes time to like build up in your system?
No, he just put me on different anxiety meds, which is going to be like just Boost Bar, which is, I think if anybody's been on anxiety meds, it's like kind of the lower, it's not, it's not like super sedative or anything like that.
I don't know what that is. God made me perfect except for my crippling methamphetamine addiction. So I have needed no outside.
It's not, I don't think they gave it to me in rehab. So I feel like if they give it to you in rehab, like.
Damn, they gave me Librium in rehab though. And that shit was awesome.
Oh, really?
Do you know what Librium is?
No.
Oh, it's great. It's a benzo. I really liked it.
No.
I was like, rehab's awesome.
I love rehab for that. That's what I might,
Ping pong and benzo.
Because they get your meds right in rehab. That's amazing.
Yeah, they actually told me like I had like a 4-day detox period where I didn't have to do any of the groups. But I was like 1 day in and like super high on Librium. I was like, I should probably go to a group.
Oh my gosh. I slept for the first, I don't think I sobered up until about 3 days in. Like I was still like blowing where I was drunk so like my actual sobriety date is give or take a few days.
Yeah.
Because I was still popping hot.
You know, I was thinking about this. So my sobriety date is June 10th, 2008, but it very well might be June 8th or June 12th.
Right.
Like I don't all the way know because it was like this weird, it was like a dream.
Yeah.
Well, like a nightmare.
It was fucking terrible. Sobering up is awful. I do not suggest doing it. I mean, I do. Like, if you're in a bad place, definitely get sober, but it's not fun.
No.
Well, we probably withdraw differently too.
Yeah. What's weird is when I did, like, it was mostly just alcohol stuff and with a little bit of methamphetamine at the end. Cause that was like a big thing is that I moved back to Olympia and I was like in Olympia for 2 weeks and I was staying away from the crystal. Like that was like my thing. I came back and I was like, I'm going to be sober now. Like, and I wasn't doing meetings or anything like that. I was like, I'm just going to be sober. And this, by the way, some of this stuff might be wrong. Like I might be remembering this completely wrong, but I stayed away from crystal. And then I remember being like, okay, I'm just going to smoke a little bit of pot. But every single time I did that, it's like I smoked pot and then I started drinking. And then sure enough, the night before I got sober, whether it was June 7th or June 12th or whenever it was, being back on methamphetamines again and knowing with Mike, who's like a really good friend of mine. He was like a cellmate of mine for a long time. And like knowing like, oh yeah, like that saying, and I say it when I do comedy sometimes, it's like, once you're a pickle, you can never be a cucumber again. Like I didn't come up with that, but that's like there's no going back.
Yeah.
Like, that I'm never going to be able. Somebody said this to me. Who was I talking to? I was talking to Tana.
This is going to be great.
No, it was great. I love
Tana's.
Tana's a piece of work. Tana Manu, he's a local comic. He's done all kinds of stuff, but Tana he's a spicy fella, and he asked me, and I liked it because he almost has almost like a childlike wonder.
He is very interesting, and like he's charismatic. Like he's ridiculous.
Yeah, and he was like, he's like, how long now that you're sober can you be?
Yeah, I know exactly.
Before you can just have like a couple beers.
He said, haven't you proved your point? You've proved it already. You've shown them.
But at least he says it. I know that like people think that.
Right. Well, and it's and addicts think that. I mean, once you get so far away from, am I still an addict? I don't know.
Because I went down to Hannah's in Olympia because Jess was featuring, and I was going to go down there anyway, but I was happy to see you were featuring.
Yeah.
And it was actually a really fun.
It was super duper fun.
I worked on a bunch of new stuff.
Which all did well.
Yeah, some of it did. I was happy with most of it.
And then it was
some
fun.
of it I don't think will ever come out of my mouth.
Oh my God, I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, maybe I'll talk about it on the podcast. Though.
They're just you learn a lot of stuff at open mics.
Alcoholism became a topic.
Yeah.
Because a local comic, and I'm not going to say his name, he said something and it made me laugh so much. He's like, something about how like he like doesn't want to drink, but he's like, there's this little voice that just kind of tells me to drink, and I'm like, that's alcohol.
Literally, you and I had the same thought. Like, I'm like, oh buddy, you need a meeting.
It was so funny though, because like I don't know, like right when I was like, how he's got to know.
Oh, he knows.
That's what it is.
He knows. Yeah, he knows.
He's a sweetheart, though.
I love that guy.
I would, I'm going to ask him. He probably wouldn't care if we talked about it.
No,
but we're not going to until we talk to him.
No.
But I did address it off. I went on stage, and it's funny. Like I'm not going to talk about it in the podcast, but I immediately went on stage like 3 comics after him. I was like, "Oh, that little voice that tells you to drink—that's alcoholism."
That is 100% what it is.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Keep drinking. Oh, that's an asshole.
Yeah. I want to talk about it, so
let's hear it.
I'm a bit of a snorer.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know this?
Yeah, I believe you snore when you're awake.
That is not a nice thing to say to a person.
I've heard it.
That has feelings and shit. Yeah, I do get if I'm really bored,
Yeah.
I will not breathe right.
just to spice it up a little bit.
I just kind of drift off. I have noticed that I will snore and I'm like, also I hum when I eat. Have you noticed that before?
No, I actually haven't noticed
my nephew does it too. Like if I'm eating something and I'm really hungry and I'm really like it, I just like, and it's like, it's not even like a song. It's just like, I think I'm trying to like harmonize with my throat. It's
so that it
food.
could,
Yeah.
so that it will massage down.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to chew.
I'm trying to do it justice because I don't realize that I'm doing it. So it's hard to recreate. It's hard to recreate things that you don't do on purpose.
Right.
You ever think about that, Trey?
Especially really gross things.
It's not that gross. I'm just humming while I eat. Eating's not gross.
No, it's not. It's just
maybe the way I do it.
Because I also imagine, it's the breathing. It's both. Yeah. It's while you're eating.
But yeah, so it's been an issue for a while. Brittany has informed me that I tend to stop breathing for pieces of time.
Yeah, that's legitimate scary.
Yeah. But also like there's this world, it's not very great. So
what? Okay. We're going to move past the suicidal tendencies.
That was kind of dark. But that's the joke I'm going to make out of it. No, I don't have any suicidal ideation right now. God, every single episode.
All of them.
I know.
So there goes the disclaimer. I thought maybe we could get away with not doing it.
No, we're going to have to put another disclaimer on it. Sam makes a suicide joke about how his sleep apnea is his subconscious trying to die.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did an at-home sleep study. And unfortunately my insurance didn't accept it. And it told me, it's like, so first off, like I know I have sleep apnea because when it's just, that's what it is. Like I snore like crazy. I stop breathing in my sleep. Right. It's like, that's apnea, right?
I don't feel like you could be your size and not have sleep apnea.
That's also not nice.
I don't know why, but I just feel like they go hand in hand.
Does Nate, because Nate's not my size, but he's big. He has sleep apnea? Yeah, see, I knew
it's not. Well, you were like excited. You're like, yes.
Because I'm part of a community.
Right. It's not a good
something
one,
that you'll never know anything about.
That is true.
Jess Anderson not invited to the sleep apnea community.
I was like, any community? Or just that particular
not that
one?
Yeah,
okay.
People your size, they don't snore. They like whistle when they sleep. You sound like you sound like an old timey train when you sleep.
Here I come.
You're like, but anyway, last night, so my insurance company wanted a like legit sleep study where I had to get a referral from my doctor, and I went in at 9 p.m. I had my consultation, and they were like, "We have a lot of openings," and I was like looking at my schedule because I'm leaving tomorrow, and it's like, I'll just do it tonight because like that's what you should do. As soon as possible. And man, it sucked. I went in there at 9 p.m. Yeah. They put all these things on you. Did you see the picture?
Yeah. I mean, I saw the cords. Yeah.
Yeah. You probably don't want to see it again.
Well,
16.
I was going to say I feel like there was an aggressive amount of nipple.
16. Well, yeah, my nipples are aggressive. Yeah.
We got to throw that in there.
Yeah,
you couldn't. Yeah,
we'll put it. I'm gonna show it to Trey. That's what I look like. Yeah, boner alert. Watch out, Trey.
Boner alert.
It was terrible.
Why? What happened?
So the thing is you got all this stuff connected to you, right? Oh, also, first off, like I'm wearing a shirt, right? And I do not sleep with a shirt on. I cannot sleep with a shirt on. It feels terrible, right? Because my nipples are aggressive. And so he started putting it on. I was like, oh, I gotta take my shirt off. He's like, oh yeah. And I sleep in like basketball shorts. But I forgot he was like jamming things up my pant legs. He's like, pull up your pant legs. And so I had to sleep with these things on. And there was nothing on my dick, which was cool.
Why would
Well,
Why
they
would
put
you even
stuff
think that there would be anything on your wiener?
because they put stuff all over everything else. Like I have them on my legs to see if my legs are
Trey,
kicking.
did you think that any of those wires went on his wiener?
It's a big heartbeat.
Yeah. Also, if you get
Trey.
sleep boners, they want to know about that.
Maybe that's why you're choking.
What? That's why it's not breathing. Unacceptable. But these things, so I got these ones and they're up through my bottom of my pant legs. And so like my pants are stuck on and I have my great basketball shorts. And like, cause if I sleep in sweatpants, that means I can't use a blanket.
Did you say your great basketball shorts?
Great basketball shorts. These
As
are
in
nice ones.
like your nice ones.
I have about 12 pairs of basketball shorts.
Because you said you sleep in your basketball shorts, which I thought was funny because that's what you always wear.
Yeah.
So it's not like you just sleep in what you're wearing.
No, because I take off my shirt.
Well, because you take off your nice ones and you put on your. Do you have old?
Yeah, I
you
have some
sleep in?
basketball shorts. They get blown out. Like, not from farts, from like.
And not from basketball.
Not from basketball. You are correct. Not from basketball. Yeah, I should just call them
Shorts.
Shorts. Yeah, with little holes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, now that you're done lambasting me, I can tell you that it was just hard because what happened, so all those cords are like connected. And then I was like, aren't these going to like yank on me if I'm moving around? He was like, oh no, like I bundle them up. And
Nice.
I have this issue too with people, and I do this, and he might be listening to this podcast. I want him to know that I appreciate him. Is that I get too familiar with people immediately. Like I can be like extremely disarming, right? Because all these folks know at this place that I do comedy because part of this sleep study thing is they want to know like your like sleep schedule. And I'm like, it's really complicated, you know? Because like some nights I literally have to be up till 2 a.m. Like if I'm doing a late show at Nate's, right? Like, and a lot of times I'll have to drive 3 hours after that. So a late show at Nate's. What time does the late show at Nate's get out, Trey?
12:30.
12:30, right? And then I'm going to sell merch. So I'm going to be here till 1. And then I got to change. So maybe 1:15. I'm leaving here at 1:15. I'm all jacked up on like adrenaline. So I'm going to stop at Winco and get some hard-boiled eggs.
Of course.
And
naturally.
And by the time I get home, it's like 2:30. But here's the thing: is a lot of times I'm driving like 2 or 3 hours, you know. So like I'm gonna get like
and then when you get home too, it's not like you get home and you immediately go to sleep. You get home and you still have stuff that if you have your at home stuff you have to do. Like I have to like clean the litter box and like you don't do those things.
No, my kids clean the litter box. Oh. My kids do chores.
My kids have no chores.
But anyway, so I'm explaining my sleep schedule. So they all knew I do comedy, right? So I'm talking to this guy about like comedy this, comedy that. And like the thing about me and my comedy that's hard is because like people ask me like, what is my comedy about? And I go, well, you know, like if I had to describe it, it's about like what it's like to walk through a world as someone who is incredibly tumultuous and high to someone who's just incredibly tumultuous and sober.
Yeah.
Like that I'm like a very emotional person. I feel like it's fairly well regulated where I don't feel like harming myself and I don't feel like I go to like these crazy places. And I would say I'm like 51% happy. But anyway, I'm talking to this guy and we're just too familiar. And so he's like making jokes and he's like sticking this stuff on me and he's got like this goo in my head. Yeah. So they had like, they're in my hair. Right. And he made this joke. He's like, this is going to make your hair fall out. And I was like, yeah, it's already falling out in the front. Right, and that was funny. Sort of. Mm-hmm. And then also when he's putting the things on me, it's like, I get this so much. You've been around in places with me where people will come up to me like, especially when I get off stage, people are like, you are big.
You're very large.
I had no idea. I know, Jess.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm saying what they were saying. I'm saying.
Yeah. Dude, I get it so much. They're like, oh, I didn't know how big you are until I stood next to you. Holy smokes. Like, and it's this thing, like, I hear it all the time. And it doesn't bother me that I like being big.
Yeah.
But like I always say, like I have this stupid joke that I always say. I was like a lot smaller when I was a baby, and it makes me laugh. And I said it to him, and he got like this big laugh. And then it just sucked.
What part sucked?
Because
you were doing material when you were.
Yeah, and I'm grumpy, and I know that I have to sleep in this bed, and there's like things that are stuck to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Very close to my nipple, not on my nipple, but in the neighborhood, in the nipple hood.
And very close to your wiener, but not on your wiener.
No, nothing was actually that close to my wiener.
That's good.
Yeah, but my wiener was too hot because I couldn't get in my basketball shorts. So I had warm wiener all night.
I never even knew that a warm wiener was a thing.
It's not fun. You know what I'm talking about, Trey.
You ever had
wiener?
a warm wiener, Trey?
He doesn't have a microphone today. I think he picked a good day to not have it. He's like, thank God. I don't want to talk about warm wiener with Sam.
Well, I guess if you have, I guess I've heard like the term hot box. You have like a hot vagina.
Yeah, that happens.
You get a sweaty
I've heard
vagina.
about that. No, okay. This is a children's podcast. Anyway, I have all this stuff connected to me. And the thing is when they pull... When the things pull, it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts.
It tugs. Yeah.
And some of the stuff, like, you know, when you like have something and it's like pulling on hairs.
Right.
And like, it's got one hair in particular. And you're like, I just wish that hair would just give up.
Right.
Like, just go.
Pull it.
Yeah. Just die, you know?
Right.
But, yeah. And eventually I did fall asleep. I watched the Miles Davis documentary and, it's on Netflix. It's really good. It's like Miles Davis. I think it's called The Birth of Cool. It's really good.
Put you to sleep, though.
No, that didn't. Eventually, I had to put on. I'm listening to the People's History, that Howard Zinn book, The People's History of the United States, which you would like. It talks a lot about.
I doubt it. Even the title sounds boring.
Yeah. Well, it's yeah. I fell asleep, but it was really hard because like. If I rolled around and also during the night, I scratched my ear and I didn't realize there was one behind my ear and I put my finger in like the Vaseline stuff. And then I had to go home and take a shower. I got up at 4:30 in the morning.
Holy crap.
And he was like, if you need me, wave, because I have cameras on me, right? And I'm like, oh, waving like a zoo bear who wants a piece of bread, you know? And like, there's these bears that you can feed bread to out on the out on the peninsula of like Port Angeles. The Olympic Game Farm. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, no, I didn't know.
It was really sad.
I was thinking like an inmate.
No. But anyway, I'm waving to the camera and he's like, can I help you? It was like an intercom. I was like, yeah. I was like, can I just go? And sure enough, he was like, yeah, you can go. So
wow.
I haven't gotten my diagnosis yet, but I had another diagnosis from a doctor that said I had sleep apnea, but my insurance company wouldn't take it. So
I just can't believe that.
I know. It was absolute trash. It was absolute trash.
So do they, so the sleep study, will they send you the video?
No, I don't want to see the video.
That could be, you could start sending that as your tape.
That'd be really sweet. If bookers want to see me, it's me. Like, I want that one of me. I just want that one of me shirtless and scratching behind my ear and getting Vaseline on my finger and trying to look at it in the low light.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I did. I mean, they got to know.
And then what will and then so this was done so that because the whole thing was so that you could get your sleep apnea machine, right?
Yeah,
like
eventually.
That's the goal. Like you have to do.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it. It feels like Lord of the Rings. Like I have to go. Like every medical thing in this goddamn country
is so difficult.
Yeah, it feels like it's like, oh yeah, I got to go to Mordor and throw the ring in. Right. And I'm like, what if a gnome like kicks me in the dick on my way? And it's like, oh,
that's negative 2 points.
yeah,
so now you have to go back.
You got to go back. Oh, and or scratched me.
Get a referral.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It sucks.
And
it's like, oh, where's the wizard? Nope, no wizards.
Wrong referral.
He died. He tried to get the Mordor too. He had freaking...
Get a new one.
Yeah.
Did you bring the beans? You were supposed to have beans.
For the Mordor? I thought you were actually talking about my sleep study. I was like, what?
No, like magical beans.
No, I'm talking, this is Lord of the Rings.
Okay,
This is some bullshit fairy tale you heard in West Virginia. This is real life. Middle Earth.
Jack and the Beanstalk, they
yeah. And by the way, who says it's Middle Earth? Who knows where the middle is? To know where the middle is, you have to know where the edges are.
I never read that movie.
The equator?
The equator. No, Trey. This is why you don't have a microphone.
Keep playing your video games. Relax.
But anyway, yeah, it sucked.
I'm sorry that having to sleep in public didn't go as well as you.
Yeah, I used to fall asleep in public all
No
the time.
problem.
Yeah, I didn't have a
brought
choice.
A tarp.
Yeah, I should have brought a tarp. That would have been great.
Would have made you feel at home.
Yeah. Okay. I put on my social media, and I want this to keep going. You guys, we're going to have an email set up soon. Do we already have the email, don't we?
What is it?
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Try to figure it out.
I'll find it out.
Try to figure it out while I do this.
Okay.
We have some questions from listeners. Did you get an air horn sound? No, it's not a freaking air horn.
Is it okay? Hold on. Is there only the one sound effect? Is it only that one?
He can get an air horn on there.
Yeah. Well, I'm just because that's the only one we've seen.
Dude, you have to have an air horn.
That's for not having an air horn.
Oh, that's like Unsolved Mysteries.
Ooh.
Who designed these?
I think you just assign them.
Okay.
You didn't design them.
You didn't.
Sounded very...
Someone did.
Someone in a factory downtown. Okay, so here is questions. So we only have 2 right now. I think what happened, I put this out here. I'm going to do this better next time. I have a plan.
Yeah, I think if we do the email.
Yeah.
Right.
So this one is actually one from a woman I went to high school with.
Oh.
And she said, when we were teenagers, you used to perform all the time. And perform is in quotations.
Quote, unquote.
Yeah, quote, unquote, perform all the time. From balance acts to shock and awe antics. Oh, my God. Have you always seen yourself as a performer? Did you ever imagine you getting this far on stage? So what she's talking about was when I was a kid, I used to balance sticks on my finger just for something to do. It was Spanaway, man. We were bored. Don't look at me like that, Trey. And I got to where, and then I realized I could balance the sticks on my chin one day. And then I started balancing like giant things on my chin, basically. I got up to like doing kayaks and running lawnmowers and doing like halftime performances before I ever did comedy.
I've never seen that side of you.
I do it occasionally.
Oh wait, no, that's not true. I did see you. I have seen once for a small child. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like doing it for kids because kids get like a big kick out of it. But honestly, I don't really like to do it that much because I don't want that to be like a thing.
Right.
But yeah, and then the shock and awe stuff, man, I used to do anything for attention. And like a lot of it makes me like cringe, like thinking about it. Like stapling my arm and things like that. I know. See, that's why I said, this is why I don't want to open up.
But I can have a reaction. It's okay. You were stapling your arm.
I know. It wasn't good.
That's okay. You don't do it now. We've learned. No. You've evolved.
I would.
That's great.
If it wasn't for stand-up, I'd still be stapling.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just really weird. I just wanted attention because
But I don't feel like you can say you did gory stuff and not like ask like which one.
No, I am setting a impossible bar for you to reach. I would say this though, is that part of my life, like, I don't think I've ever been more miserable than I was when I was in high school, when it all came down to it.
Hmm.
Like I either had to be all the way excited, super high, like out of my mind, or I was sad.
When did you start doing drugs?
Oh, geez. I don't know. I started drinking when I was like really, really little.
Like preteen or like?
No, before that.
Oh, wow.
Like there's a picture of me as like a 4-year-old like drinking a beer.
Wow.
Because in my family it was like this thing was like kind of funny or whatever.
Right, yeah.
It's really not that funny, but
Yeah, give him a cigarette too. It makes for a really good photo.
yeah. No, there's a picture of it. My
Yeah.
brother actually has that picture. Yeah. So if I wasn't high or if I wasn't, people weren't laughing at me, and if I wasn't like excited, if I was alone, if I was by myself, and I had nothing to distract myself from who I was miserable.
Yeah.
I just hated who I was. I hated my life. I hated my school, the neighborhood. I hated everything. And yeah. And I think that's one of the things that has like pressed me this hard. And I think that just comes down to addiction. Like I like this talk about addiction. Like we always think about like, oh, like drug addicts love getting high. And I don't think it's that simple. I think me and you have talked about this before. Because for me, it was never about getting high. It was more about not being sober.
Right.
I hated being sober way more than I loved being high.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I didn't like, yeah.
Like-
Well, and that it was just like you said, like just, it was a way to distract and get away from whatever was going on inside of your
and
head.
I'm sure that type of thinking led to all kinds of risky behaviors. And I mean, me and my friends, we used to say, oh, like we're doing professional wrestling in school. Like we had this video production class, but we were just bashing each other in the head with like trash cans and stuff like that, and like giving each other concussions and shit.
Oh, I would not have been friends with you in high school.
No, you would
I would
not.
I would have made fun of you.
You know what's funny is all these folks that are like, oh, Sam's great. Da, 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 da. And I think it's like, man, if you knew me back in the day, you would have ran away. Yeah. Like I was not. You
sound like a disaster.
I was an absolute disaster. But this end of this is, did you ever imagine you getting this far on stage? No.
Yeah.
No. And you know what's funny is even when I started doing comedy, I would fantasize about having this as a job, but I never had an actual plan.
Right.
It was like, oh, I like this. I'm going to do this as much as I can. I'm going to try to figure this out.
Yeah.
And then one day at a time, as long as I take care of myself and like put my recovery first, then like beautiful, amazing things have happened.
Yeah.
You know, and I complain about comedy all the time, but.
Well, it's your job.
Yeah. It's my job. Yeah.
People complain about their jobs. That's what yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good question.
That was a great question. What was her name again?
Her name's Tina.
Tina.
She's really dope.
Thanks, Tina.
Yeah. Actually, no, that was Joey.
Jesus.
Sorry. That's my friend, Joey Monty.
Thanks, Joey.
Yeah. I love Joey. Shout out, Joey. Good question, Joey.
I actually like Joey more than I like Tina.
Yeah. You would love Joey too. Joey. Oh, I'm going to talk about Joey for a minute.
Okay.
So he's like a throwback. Like he plays a flute. He hangs out in the mountains. He eats bugs and fish.
A
and
throwback to who?
I don't know.
Tuck Finn?
Something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Joey's sick. You'd love Joey. He's a really good guy. Nick Zimmerman asked this question.
Okay. Nick.
When's the comedy special dropping? Is it going to be on YouTube or a streaming service?
Yeah, you should talk about that.
Yeah. So I am indeed. I'm on Stand Up Records. I recorded an album in April.
No big deal.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really cool.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. And so I did a 3-album deal, and I'm actually feeling really good about album 2. I think I got it pretty much dialed in.
Yeah.
There's this joke that I'm working on about something that I feel absolutely horrible about.
Okay, great.
I'll talk to you about it later.
Okay.
I'll do it when we're in Eureka
All
together.
right.
I'll try to do it. I've done it on stage twice. It's really hard to do.
Do you know when you're recording number 2?
No.
Okay.
And number 1, so like as of, I think I talked to Dan Schlessel, who's the CEO. I talked to him like 4 or 5 days ago. And it is indeed like they are off to print the DVD and the CD things.
Wow.
But there's issues with vinyl right now, and we want to release it all at once.
Okay.
And so there's issues with vinyl and them trying to figure out that part.
That's
It's
going to be
tricky
so
because,
cool.
yeah, it's super cool. It is super cool.
And you'll be on vinyl.
Yeah. And as far as the special itself, whether it'll be on YouTube or another streaming service, we don't know all the way. I don't know all the way. But it will be available for download and people will be able to see it. And it should all come out on the same day. And my goal is, especially on like iTunes and stuff like that, I want to try to do that whole #1 comedy album on iTunes thing. And like, I probably can't stay up there for very long, but I think that if everybody goes and downloads it on the same day, that'll put me, because that's a credit I can use, because then I can say like the #1 album on iTunes. Monica Nevi pulled that off, which was dope because I love Monica. Yeah, so that's a great question, Nick. Nick's funny too because he's a high schooler and he's trying to do comedy.
Oh,
yeah, and he's pretty funny though. I think he's smart because he actually talks about high school stuff.
Oh, that is smart.
Some high schoolers, like really young people, they try to do comedy and they're like, well, "This is what I think about the Cuban Missile Crisis," and it's like, what?
Oh, I wish I would have started when I was in high school. No,
Maybe.
yeah,
I don't know.
just I mean. To have it would have been a disaster, but to have the years, if I would have been sober.
How old are you?
If things would have been different if they were different.
How old are you? I have no idea.
I'm 38.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were younger.
I know. I know it's weird.
Good job,
I always
Jess.
refer.
Because you fucking pickled yourself.
I did. I'll never be a cucumber again.
Never be a cucumber again. Yeah. So good questions. We'll give the email. Well, Jess probably has it now.
I do. It is info at tarpreportpodcast.com.
Oh my God. And the website
right?
too.
Yeah.
Tarp Report Podcast.
Yeah, it's good.
And all the episodes will be there. And there'll be other stuff on there too.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want. We can.
Oh my God. We're really doing it.
It's a whole thing. This is happening.
Yeah. Okay. Joke time.
Okay.
I hope you guys are ready. Trey does not have a microphone, so he's not doing jokes today. It's just you.
Okay.
And that's okay with me. I'm going to respect Trey's boundaries. He's tired
Trey,
of our
are you
stuff.
tired?
He's tired of our stuff. Don't read till the end.
Okay, I'll just...
By the way, real quick, our sponsors are Old School Pizzeria in downtown Olympia, Bar Francis, downtown Olympia, Deschutes River Cyclery in downtown Olympia. And I really appreciate them. I actually got Deschutes River Cyclery already paid up.
Oh, I love that.
Those Bar Francis and Old School Pizzeria, I gotta send a goon down.
Oh gosh, you need an invoice.
No. I gotta send a goon. Is goon a word I should use?
Yeah, you could say goon.
Goon? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like thug has like racial implications now. Like people throw that term around to like bemoan people.
I don't think you would say, I gotta send a thug.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I'll say goon though.
Yeah, a goon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and put him in the power.
And I'm not
wagon.
actually going to do that. I don't need a goon. I am a goon.
Right. You just mean I'll go there.
Yeah. I'll just go down there. And actually, I'm not even worried about that.
They're fine. They're great.
Okay. So I wrote 7 jokes.
Okay.
7 jokes. And here is Jess reading number 1.
Number 1. I used to shoplift at Target, but in my defense, the store is named Target. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
That's good.
Why are you handing it back to me?
I
guess I can read them too.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be fun. Okay, even though it's weird that I'm
No,
reading
it's
them.
your, I mean, whatever.
Okay, well, I'm glad I got this one. I have nose stuff. Have you been noticing that?
I'm so congested.
I know what it is. Okay, number 2. I occasionally scratch my back on trees, and when I do, it really makes me feel like a bear. I also feel like a bear when I eat 25 pounds of berries, 6 raw salmon, and then sleep in a hole for 5 months. That also makes me feel like a bear.
That does. That will.
Trey liked it. It was. Like, I was worried. That was the one that was iffy. So
okay, well, good.
There's more iffy ones. Too.
Okay.
Number 3.
Number 3. Sometimes I'll see a piece of trash blowing in the wind and I'll say, man, I wish I was active.
That's a good joke.
Yeah.
I actually wrote that when I saw a piece of trash blowing in the wind.
So you were inspired.
Yeah, I was like walking around late at night listening to weird music, and I was kind of sad, and like I was in
Oh,
downtown,
and then like a trash
and I
bag.
see this piece of trash blowing around. And I'm like, wow, that trash is really applying itself.
Yeah.
Look at him go.
To be so motivated.
Yeah. Number 4. I quit drinking and doing drugs June 10th, 2008. But truth be told, I have no idea when I quit huffing glue. Might have been before or after then.
I might still be doing it.
Yeah, maybe this morning.
It could be later on this evening.
That's actually how I used to do that joke. I quit drinking and doing drugs June 10th, 2008. But truth be told, I huffed glue this morning.
Oh no.
That's a
Do I have to change my sobriety date?
Yeah.
There you go.
No, it's glue's allowed. I think you're number 5, right?
Okay. Some people say guns are tools, but if that's the case, how come I never stole a gun from Home Depot? How come I never stole a gun from Home Depot?
That's how I know guns aren't tools.
Because they don't have
Because if
a
a gun was a tool, I would have stole one at Home Depot in 2003. Yeah. Shout out Home Depot. This is
good looking out.
Oh God.
Okay.
I hate this one. I think this is the worst one. I'm thinking of starting a website to stop people from donating money to different causes. I was going to call it No Fund Me.
No. Slow fund me.
No,
fund
don't.
me.
You're ruining it.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
It's No Fund Me. Okay.
You know what?
I wrote that joke and I thought about it.
Mm-hmm. I love how we can be creative together and we can bounce ideas off of each other.
I like it
favorite.
when I have a great idea and you swoop in like a sad raven and ruin it.
Oh man, Sam. Can we just talk about how Sam wants me to do a different opener?
Do you want to?
A little bit, because I'm.
Did you not like it?
No, I do.
Advice?
Oh wait, sorry.
I asked you first before if you wanted advice.
I know. I know.
Okay, number 7.
Okay, sorry. I did a sleep study and it came back that I'm a fat idiot.
I said there's got to be like, that can't be an actual diagnosis, right?
But no, he put that on the thing.
Wrote that when I was pissed when I wrote that.
I'm a fat idiot.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Because he was like, "You're big," and I'm like, "I'm dumb too, motherfucker."
Oh,
I know, right?
That probably is pretty sad when you don't feel good.
No, it is. No, but let's talk about it.
Okay, well, so my opener has always been, "I'm Jess. I'm an alcoholic."
Mm-hmm.
But you think it's better to open with something else?
Yeah. I really like that joke, and I think it's.
I've heard good things. I've had a lot of good feedback about that joke.
As an opener?
Well, just in general, but I haven't used it as an opener. But
oh yeah. I was worried when you said you wanted to talk about it that you thought that I was out of pocket.
Oh no.
Okay, cool. Because I don't.
No, I was thinking of being how it's. How aggressively uncomfortable the idea has made me. Like just
really?
Just like switching it. Yeah, because like I'm so.
You know. I think openers. It's funny because closers really aren't that big of a deal. Like, for a joke to be a closer, it just needs to be the last joke you do, and you want it to be something like fairly strong or whatever. But different crowds are going to bite on different stuff. I used to have a very dirty closer. Openers, however, can be really tricky, especially if you're doing, honestly, Jess, I don't mean this in a disparaging way, but a lot of the shows you're doing right now are rowdy bar shows, and you're middling, you're featuring, Now, by the way, I want to bring back the term middling instead of featuring.
I like middling.
Middling is a way more accurate term than featuring is. So yeah, you want a very strong opener and well, I don't want to talk about the specific joke because I want people to be surprised. But I really think that if you just jumped in and did it, you'd be surprised. And it also, there's this thing that happened with me, and I know that we're breaking our don't talk about comedy rule. But there was a point on stage where I realized like how much material that I have
Mhm.
that I can do whatever jokes I want whenever I want to do them,
Right.
depending. And generally, I follow this kind of basic path
Mhm.
with kind of diverging paths, like this basic route with diverging paths. But that
Message to the people with the SD card corrupted in the camera.
oh, so we don't have video?
I don't know how much.
Is the audio all right?
Audio's good.
Oh,
okay.
okay, whatever. I don't care.
Audio's good.
Yeah. Hey, if you're seeing a corrupted video of this podcast, you'll know.
Sorry.
It went
Yeah.
on for...
That's
See,
okay.
now they're not going to see me doing this
Oh,
with my
that's fine.
body.
They'll never know. They'll never know what those.
I've been corrupting SD cards for quite a while. I'm like, hey, SD card, you want to do a little bit of ice?
Hey.
Anyway, yeah, so that would be
It's yeah.
a thought. If you have, because how much material do you have right now?
I don't like 25, 30.
Okay,
20,
there you go.
yeah.
So if you're doing a 15-minute spot, maybe it's time to not have all the way plan.
Right.
Some people can't do that because they're not naturally funny, but I think you're naturally funny. And when I say that some people can't do that because they're not naturally funny, there are great comedians that have like, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Fantastic comedians, way better than me, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that some of us, especially folks like me and you, that have their humor born out of turmoil, that we have a natural capability to maybe not improvise jokes on the spot, but to improvise the way we're doing our jokes.
Right.
So I think that because I think what you're more worried about is that if you do that opener, then what happens to that other joke? What do I do next after it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it's just, well, and it's, I guess I could still do both. But yeah, it's just what I've been used to. And then to do something different is really scary. But I think it's a good idea. And yeah, I think, and I'll try it and see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. That's something that we can come back to. We'll have to see maybe by next episode. And also, we are going to Eureka. Well, by the time you're listening to this, we'll have been back from Eureka.
Yeah.
For
And
like
hopefully
3 weeks.
still friends. And
Yeah. We got to see too. It's going to be interesting because I think you're going to stay over at, but maybe we could figure out something. If you want to stay at the club with me, you can sleep downstairs on like an airbed or something like that.
Oh, I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah. We probably shouldn't. Anyway, we'll talk about it. It'll be interesting.
Sure.
Okay. We've done almost all the stuff that we usually do. We already talked about your medication.
Yes. And I took it.
And you took your medication today.
I took my meds.
The old and the new.
I took all my meds.
No, we have 35 minutes. It went 35 minutes and stopped, so might as well get video.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, do your thing, man.
I don't know what happened, but
I'm not.
That's
not
cool. 35 minutes is good.
Maybe if you weren't playing video games on your phone, you would have noticed
Well,
what happened.
maybe.
I wouldn't really know what to do.
I know. I don't care. I just like messing with you, Trey. I love you, Trey. You know that, right?
Trey is not in the mood. Trey is not in the mood for your bullshit today.
I really enjoy Trey.
I do too.
And I like you here because, like, whenever I don't know what to say, I just look at
Divert
you
to Trey.
and I see what your face is doing, and it inspires me.
Yeah.
You inspire
Trey.
me.
Well, Trey is the audience that we need.
Desperately need.
Yeah, that we like require.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote in here mountain drunks.
Yeah, I want to know about that.
Because I performed in Kashmir, Washington for like the drunkest, rowdiest crowd that I've had in like a long time. And I just want to say, like, I forgot what it can be like sometimes when you just have like people. And also, I closed out the show. And you know what's weird is I also got to follow a guy, Davey Wester. Let me make sure I'm getting his name right. This dude is he's a Comedy Store regular. Super solid. Like, no joke. Like Like one of I want to make sure that I get his name right. Because like you know how I am with names. But it's Davey. I know that. I think I said it right. Yeah, Davey Wester.
Yeah.
Grew up out there, and so I'm following a local dude who throws like heat. And the show was kind of long because like for some reason at that venue they want like 5 comics or whatever. They want like a whole bunch of comics, and they have a good budget, so it's like they can afford it. So it was like
It's their show.
yeah, it was me, Bahia Mudd. Do you know her from Yakima? She's great. Nick Dundas, Davey Wester, Simon Kaufman, Davey Wester, and then me. And holy moly, man, like the heat was on, and like I delivered, but there is a lot of unknowns because like I'm doing 30 minutes. About 20 minutes into my set, I kind of looked out at the crowd and I was like, oh man, like it's time to end this show. Like it's not.
Oh, they're
like,
done.
They're done. Like
Yeah.
they're over it. But I went really hard into that don't fart on an airplane joke.
Yeah.
And like luckily like that was strong enough to like bring them back. But yeah, it was definitely a thing too. And there was a guy right up front, and he was that kind of heckler that like there was no real animosity.
Mm-hmm.
He's just too drunk and too excited, and he like starts talking to me, and I felt bad because I like snapped at him a little bit too hard. I felt like, because I'm a big softie, you know, and I was like,
well,
I was like, hey man, you need to shut the fuck up.
Oh, did you? Oh, wow.
I know, that's what I said. I snapped at him a little bit too hard because he wasn't like, and I didn't give him any warning or whatever. I should have just been like, hey man, like if I would have just been like, shh, with like the one finger, like that's like
he just tapped the table. I've had to do that a couple of times. I've come over and tapped the table and be like, hey, bud.
I always wanted like I could pick up his drink and throw it at the wall behind me and then fight him.
That is an option. No, well, it's really hard when they're not being an aggressive heckler.
No, because then like, you come off like an ass.
Right. Like they're just thinking they're having fun, but
I'll tell you what, Kashmir, Washington, dope place, dope bar, dope show, just all around like awesome time.
Yeah.
There. Like that place was insanity. Like it was really, really fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a good run. And then got to work in Pasco at the Red Lion.
Which is
yeah.
Love that.
I'm just gonna leave that alone right now. Maybe on another day.
Speaking of Simon.
We'll trade stories. What did you go and do? You went to the castle.
I went to the castle. It was beautiful, and it was really great. It was a full house. And,
nice. The show was good.
Yeah, the show was
Casey
really well.
Closed that out. Casey McLean,
yeah, it was me and Casey and Dane, and Juan Carlos.
Oh, nice. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, he's getting ready to move.
Back to New York?
I think they're moving to Texas.
Because
I think PCSing.
His successful partner got a better job.
Yes.
There. That's good. What does he do?
I think he does comedy.
Full time?
No, I have no idea. I don't think he works as far as I know.
I did a podcast of his and he said something that bothered me so much. And it cracks me because I don't think, by the way, Juan, if you're listening to this, I don't think you're a bad guy at all.
Juan Carlos.
I told this story about getting robbed, and like these guys had like shotguns pointed at me, and I finished the story, and obviously I didn't get shot or whatever, but like I finished the story and he was like, I don't get it. Like when they had those guns pointed at you, why didn't you steal the car and like make it run for it? I was like, what? Because I was thinking about this the other day. It's just that like you learn a lot about yourself when you're being robbed and like what you can and can't do. And the thought did cross my mind, but this is the deal where like these are two guys with shotguns, both pointed at me. I was in no position to make a run for it. And the other thing too that's weird, it's not so much that someone would think that running was an option, but that someone would think to ask me why I didn't do something differently, which speaks to one I love you. That's just a weird question to ask. I still think about it all the time.
He really does.
Yeah.
He's fine about it though.
I'm so
Not
pumped
upset
about this because I have a weird fact, a thing that I know now.
Thing that Sam knows now.
Yeah, that I didn't know previous, or a thing that replaced the thing that I used to know, and now I know that that thing shouldn't be known.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It does make sense, actually. I'm actually great at speaking, not talking.
Talk. You said talking.
I'm good at talking.
I'm good at talking.
But I can say that I'm great at speaking. I can turn it off and on. I could actually speak very well.
Just prove it.
Okay. In a lifetime, a human produces 25,000 quarts of saliva, which is enough to fill almost 2 swimming pools.
Now, the real question.
Can you believe that?
Would you swim in it?
Ugh. How much?
Your own?
To swim in your own
It does
old
make it
spit.
different.
Yeah. Oof. Oh, that is so gross. I was just thinking about doing it if you like dived into someone else's saliva. Oh,
It's warm.
it was bubbly.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
I don't think you're talking phlegm, though. I think it's just like saliva.
Yeah, just saliva, not phlegm. It's
Yeah.
clear, but it's gross.
15 G's?
That's not a lot of money.
I was doing it for 5.
What?
Yeah, it's just spit. Who gives a shit? It's all already in our mouths. That's a good point, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're like,
Oh,
no,
well, there
what
you
if
go. You got me.
somebody's spit gets on
Touche.
me, and our mouths are full of spit. Thank you, Trey.
I would want more money. I would want more.
Well, you could
money.
get more.
Yeah.
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 Because you're going to be like in a swimsuit, right?
Yeah. People
What?
like that.
No, no. I'm wearing full scuba gear.
Oh, okay. Well, then you don't get
Because
as
I'm going to
much.
be in a bathing suit.
Yeah, that's why people like that, though. They want to see ladies swim in a swimming pool.
Doing the backstroke
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
bathing
yeah.
suit of their own spit.
You could probably swim faster in spit or slower.
I think you'd probably go slower, I think. I think it'd be more like a salt water.
You know what I thought too? If you dove and you farted, the fart would come up real slow because it's gonna
Like it would push you forward.
go through the spit, and then the bubble would stay on the top for a while.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and so if I swam underwater and I just leave little fart bubbles in the spit pool,
That is gross.
yeah. Ugh. This podcast is disgusting.
This has really
Yeah, you
gotten
really,
away from us.
you
I
really
feel
brought
like.
it down.
I
Jen. This has been my favorite episode
Has
so
it?
far. Yeah, I feel like it's flowing.
Huh.
You probably shouldn't talk about what the episodes are while we're doing them.
That's all right.
You want oh god, you want to tell me about reality TV. For the record, I, Sam Miller, do not watch a lot of TV anymore because I am too busy on social media doing stupid stuff.
Okay. Well, and that's the thing is I make time for reality television.
And by the way, I am not talking ill of reality TV.
Well, and I think the fact that you don't know anything about it is what makes this so much fun.
Okay.
Because I love reality television.
Okay.
But reality TV right now, there's like a lot of like scandal and there's like a lot of really fun stuff going on. So it's like if you like true crime shows, right? Like true crime podcasts. Like you like people. You don't?
Not really. I usually just listen to NBA podcasts.
Like sports?
Yeah.
Oh.
I like basketball.
Okay. Well, pretty much every housewife is going to jail right now.
Dang.
Yeah, like federal prison.
Dang.
Like a big deal. Like one of our housewives just went and she's going to prison for 7 years.
Dang, that's time.
Like for real.
Dang.
Yeah, she was like scamming elderly people. She was like the person who would like call and be like, you need to, re-up your car insurance or whatever. And for like millions and millions of dollars. And so she just went to prison for that. And that's really exciting in the reality housewife world. And I thought, well, that's silly because old people don't really do that. That doesn't really happen.
There aren't that many of them that's going to prison. You're just trying to make it sound really like better than it is.
Oh, okay. So there's one so that's Salt Lake City. There's a Real Housewife husband that just got disbarred.
That's not.
Wh-
There's not. It's not the husbands of Real Housewives.
And his wife could be implemented.
Not implemented.
Could be.
No, implemented. I don't think implicated.
I got distracted because I saw Trey. I saw Trey yawning.
No, I am into this segment. Okay, so one of the wives is going to be implicated, possibly.
Possibly. So her husband was actually this prestigious lawyer in. He was actually the one who helped solve the Aaron Brockovich case, and so he was like a really big deal.
And she was.
And so she went on.
And it was like people getting poisoned, right? That's what Aaron Brockovich was. Yeah,
and they got all this.
I remember that movie.
They got all
Julia
this,
Roberts, right?
Yeah, they got all this money
awesome.
for like airplane victims and like.
I like her hair. Julia Roberts
She
has
had
great
great
hair.
I think it's her mouth. That's what people like.
I like her hair.
Her daughter. Is that her daughter, Emma?
Emma Roberts?
Right? Are they really?
I don't know.
I should know that. Anyway, but anyway, so his wife goes on the Real Housewives, and they're on for like 6 seasons, just living this glamorous life. They're going on private jets, and they're buying all of this expensive jewelry and paintings and all of this stuff. And people were kind of like, "That's weird. How can they afford this?" And so finally, it comes out that like this lawyer has been stealing from.
Is this the Salt Lake City thing?
This one is Beverly Hills.
Oh, Beverly Hills. Okay.
Yeah.
Is the other one the Salt Lake City thing?
The other one is Salt Lake City.
Yeah, because I heard about the Salt Lake City thing.
Did you? See, yeah.
My mom told me about it.
Oh, I bet your mom. Oh, I bet me and your mom would have so much fun.
Next time we bring her in here.
We'll do this segment.
Yeah, and I'll just leave and I'll go get a burrito.
Yeah.
When I come back.
I was going to ask you, about your thoughts after, having your mom on and how you felt that went.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I do think, by the way, what I'll do, so this will be an assignment of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I will watch. You pick one episode of
Okay.
Real Housewives for me to watch from any season.
Okay.
And I will come back. And I'm going to pick one basketball game for you to watch.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay? And we'll come back.
Because honestly,
It'll probably be Golden State, Oklahoma City. That Klay Thompson game. Do you know what I'm talking about?
the Real Housewives is,
No, he had like a 40-point. He scored like 40 points in the fourth quarter or something like that. It was crazy.
it really is like my sports.
Okay.
Like I love
it. I don't know if you guys know this
into
about
this.
me, and I'm really proud of this. Like I used to have all these like things. It's like, oh, that's cool. That's not cool. Or like, this is cool. Or like, that's dumb. But literally anything that gives anybody joy this day and age, like I will never shit on it as long as it's not hurting anybody else. Like I could like, and not only that, I will give it a chance.
Okay.
But it's probably not my thing. Because I don't like rich people. I don't get rich people.
Right. Well, and so the reason that I watch is I've been watching since high school. Like I have been watching the same people for 20 years.
That's wild.
Like, so like you have to think like if your favorite TV show is, or your favorite basketball player has been playing for 20 years, like you keep watching.
Yeah.
Like, and so I've watched these people, have children and their children have become grandparents and like it's, get divorced and have lots of money and lose it. And so it's really interesting.
I could see that. Yeah. Shaquille O'Neal was like my favorite player forever.
Yeah.
And like, it's
look what
fun because I still
happened.
get to watch him on Papa John's commercials.
That's really nice.
No, and inside the NBA.
And Shazam.
TNT, and Shazam and TikToks. I mean, he's everywhere.
Was that Shaquille O'Neal? Was that Shazam? Or was that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I did it.
He made Shazam?
I don't know. It's one of those things where like people have, I think it might be one of those false memories. I'm not sure if there was a Genie movie with Shaq in it or not. No, don't look it up. I don't want to know.
I thought it was,
anymore.
was it Sinbad?
Yeah. No, Sinbad, there was no Genie movie with Sinbad. It's not. People talk about this all the time. It's so weird.
How do we all have a collective memory and
because his name is Sinbad, and Sinbad was a famous pirate, and there was the Sinbad show, and I think there was a time when Sinbad used to wear this open vest, and
You
have
think
like
that
a shiny hat on. And
You think that
everybody
I'm
thinks,
thinking that the comedian is a magician? You think that I'm getting those two mixed up?
No, I don't think that you think that he's a magician. I just like everybody thinks there's this Sinbad pirate movie or genie movie, and there's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, people just think that
Because it was a Shaq movie.
Yeah, it was a Shaq movie. But yeah, we want you to like this and subscribe to this
Yeah. And send us emails.
podcast and anything. Let's say that email address again.
Info@thetarpreport.com.
Info at the
Tarp Report Podcast.com. Sorry.
tarpreportpodcast.com. And we're going to figure out what we're doing next week.
Yeah.
I think this one, I really like this one. I think we're finding our rhythm.
Yeah, I think
you telling me about reality TV. I think that I should just do a sleep study before every single one of them. Or maybe I could just get some Vaseline and put it in my hair and that'll do the same thing. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
And I think it'd be great.
Yeah, what did you
think?
think?
We'll do this
Trey?
every time.
It's good.
It was
Yeah.
good.
Besides the camera thing, the SD, but my bad.
That's okay.
That's just your deal.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
You could tell that we weren't too weird about it.
It was
All
great,
right.
great though.
Yeah.
I think it went okay.
I think we should
Your jokes were fucking good this week.
They were?
Yeah.
You think they were the best ones yet?
Yeah, definitely.
You
I
think
actually
so?
think, you know what's funny is I actually did one of them on. I started writing them a while ago. I actually did one on stage. I did that shoplifting at Target one,
That's a good one.
and it hit.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
It's a stupid joke, and it reminds me of a Mitch Hedberg joke, which makes me a little bit uncomfortable.
I'm
Do you know the Mitch Hedberg joke? Where he
No.
goes, I tried to go to the Target the other day, but I missed.
oh no. Uh-uh.
I love Mitch Hedberg. Anyway. But yeah, I think that's it. Do you have anything else? Should we get out of here?
Yeah, I think we didn't mention where we are.
What do you mean?
We're at Nate Jackson's recording.
Oh yeah, we were recording at Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club in Tacoma, Washington, with our wonderful producer Trey Caldwell, who
Yeah.
is doing a fantastic job. Trey just got back from Sacramento.
Yeah. Oh, did you see the TikTok videos that are getting like millions of views, and then Trey's in the back, all
I know,
awkward,
I know.
taking
I love
pictures.
I don't think it's awkward. I think he's doing his job.
But he looks awkward doing it.
Trey's killing it. Trey, you're in this comedy game now.
Yeah.
You're actually more important than any comedian. Seriously.
You've done way more than us.
Yeah, there's so many comics. Whenever somebody comes into this industry and they're like, "Oh yeah, I do this. Like I record podcasts and I do that. Like I just want you to know I think you're dope and this shit's important to me." So I appreciate you. Homie. Yeah. And I appreciate you, Jess.
Thanks. Same.
This was really nice.
Yeah.
To close this podcast, I want you to stop recording right after I jam my cup into the table. Oh, I didn't answer my question though about my mom.
Yeah, if you want.
I don't know.
Okay. You don't know. You don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah. I want her in more,
Mm-hmm.
but also it's a totally different experience to be anywhere where my mom is.
Right.
Because she is the person outside of Brittany that knows more about me. And so it's strange. So yeah. But to close my podcast and honor our podcast. That was messed up, wasn't it? To close our podcast.
In honor
of my mom. Right after I do this, I want you to stop recording. I am going to slam my cup into the table. Okay. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Have a great day.